Hey everybody, it's your boy Joe, the Wealth Architect, coming at you live and direct from New York City. Just finished getting my little workout in. Got focused mostly on cardio today. And the key is to not just focus on living day to day, on the daily grind of making money, but making sure that we take care of our health. That's really critical. As the saying goes, health is wealth, right? So we got to invest in ourselves, invest in our minds, our bodies, in terms of physical fitness, food, right? Nourishment, in terms of our minds, like I said, what we take in, the type of people who we surround ourselves with, the type of news or television or the internet, social media, all those things affect our mindset, right? And our thinking. So make sure that you stay vigilant in terms of what you take in. And when I say that, that applies to me too, right? So it's a reminder to myself. It's a little windy out here. Hopefully you all can hear me. But wanted to focus today on a framework that I came up with some years ago, and now have finally came around to writing a book about it. And it's called the GDP Framework. And it is a 3-part framework that is focused on resilience, right? On having a sense of fulfillment in your life, a sense of inner peace, and resilience, being able to bounce back from difficult situations. We are globally, right? We are in very interesting times, right? Very scary times. A lot going on in the world with wars. A lot going on in the U.S. with a lot of political strife, social strife, people suffering from mental health all over the place. New York City, we see it a lot, but it's all over the country. And I believe it's even emanating from the capitals, right? The capital of the United States, right? Meaning the capital of the country in D.C. that we have legislators, administrators, government officials who are also, dealing with mental health issues, right? Their own crisis, right? But my main focus here is on the GDP framework throughout all the stresses of life, the day-to-day stresses, some that are external, some that we bring on ourselves. At the end of the day, we want to practice gratitude. There's so much to be grateful for in life, even with all the chaos, right? Even, like I said, externally or even in our own lives. So in terms of the GDP framework, the first principle of this 3-part framework is gratitude, practicing gratitude, right? Some people do it through journaling, right? That's one way to do it. I've found that helpful. Another way may be to write something on a Post-it or even a note to yourself, but let's say a Post-it where you write down some of the things that you are grateful for and stick it on your mirror, right? In your bathroom, stick it or in your bedroom or wherever the case might be, in the kitchen, right? Maybe pin it to, if you have like a little board or something like that, as I do, in the kitchen, post it there, stick it on your cabinet. But think of things that you are grateful for, right? Good health, the fact that you overcame cancer, the fact that you have your children or grandchildren in your life, the fact that you can read, that you can see. There's just so many things that we take for granted, and we want to change that, right? So we want to begin to practice gratitude. The second part, well, let me just say this first, and what you will find, and this is, I've know this to be true, what you will find is that you will experience, when you practice gratitude on a daily basis, which is what I do and what I've been doing for, let's say, about a decade and a half, like consciously doing it, is that you find or you experience an inner peace. You feel calmer when you practice gratitude. When you think about the things that are present in your life that you have and that you appreciate, rather than focusing on what you don't have, what's lacking, right? That can only depress you, right? That can only bring you down. This is all about upliftment. The whole purpose of investing and having a mindset of growth and wealth is so that you can enjoy it, right? You don't have money and be miserable, right? You want to be able to enjoy it, right? So that means that you do yourself a favor when you practice gratitude. So I just wanted to emphasize what the benefits of practicing gratitude are, right? I believe there are health benefits, right? You actually, like I said, your blood pressure, will benefit from you practicing gratitude because you'll be less stressful, right? Less stressful, a lot calmer within yourself and also in how you relate to other people, right? The saying, misery loves company. Well, if you're a grateful person and you practice gratitude, then you're not going to be miserable, right? The people who, and sometimes it's family members or friends, but the people who are always complaining about stuff, who seem to be miserable all the time, are ungrateful, right? They may have all sorts of blessings within their lives, but they are ungrateful, right? They are unsatisfied. Nothing is enough, right? So we don't want to be like that, right? We want to practice gratitude. The second principle in the GDP framework is the D, right? The D stands for detachment. And that is about letting go, right? Letting go of things that we or you don't have control over. There's just some things we don't have control over. We don't have control over, for example, the way people relate to us necessarily, right? We don't have control over what's going on in the stock market. Even though I talk about investing, there's lots of things that we have no control over, right? But there are lots of things that we do, who we associate with, what we think about on a consistent basis, right? And those negative, let's say negative people or negative beliefs and attitudes that some of us hold, we have control of them. And so it is to our benefit to let them go, right? To detach. That's what the D stands for, right? To detach, to let go, because those things are baggage, dead weight, right? And if we want to take off in life, if we want to experience life in a lighter way, in a clearer way, in a more focused way, we have to let go of a lot of baggage, right? One of the things that I've had to do is to let go of the sometimes subconscious belief that I had to be, not had to be, but that I had to support and be there for, people in my circle who couldn't necessarily do for themselves. And that could be family members or friends. And the truth is that I don't have to, right? It's really that simple, that I don't have to, that I've taken on responsibilities that are not mine. And this may speak to you, right? You may feel that you are, let's say, in a better position financially or materially in some way than people in your circle, so you feel like you have to be there for them. And I'm not saying turn your back on people, but it's not necessarily your responsibility. So I had to let go of that notion and realize that for me, I might have been experiencing what they call survivor's guilt, having done 25 years in prison, come home, doing, relatively well, great wife, nice neighborhood, doing okay for myself. And I think subconsciously, I sometimes feel like I have to bring everybody along with me, right? Meaning the people closest to me, family members. That's not my responsibility. So I had to let go of that notion and, like I said, to detach from that type of thinking. And so as a result, feel much better, feel much lighter, and move more nimbly, so to speak, in the world, right? The last part is perspective, the P. So it's GDP, gratitude, detachment, and perspective. What I have found in my life is that as I practice gratitude on a daily basis, as I let go of things that are weighing me down, right, holding me back, that I gain perspective and clarity as a result of practicing gratitude and letting go, detaching from negative people, beliefs, even for me, certain behavioral traits, right? So letting go and getting out of my own way allows me to have perspective, to gain perspective, to keep perspective. And that's what I want for you, right? So GDP, this framework, can be used in any life situation: money, social, how you relate to time, any situation. That's the beauty of it. It's very flexible, very universal, right? And so again, that's what I want for you, is to have gratitude, to detach from things that hold you back, and to live with a sense of perspective and purpose. And with that said, I want to mention my latest book, my third book, the GDP Framework, right? It's based on the GDP Framework, but it's called Above the Clouds. You can check out the link below, get a copy, use it as a resource when times are really testing you, but also share it with your loved ones. It makes a great holiday gift, birthday present, right? And again, it's called Above the Clouds, right? The GDP Framework for rising above the storm, rising strong when life knocks you down, right? And we all know that from time to time, life will knock us down. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's a crazy time right now, very stressful, a lot of uncertainty. People are not getting SNAP benefits. Millions and millions of people, 40 million people, not getting SNAP benefits, for example, won't have been able to feed themselves or their kids. So it's a very stressful time. This will make a great gift to give people a sense of gratitude, for them to let go of things that are holding them back, or people, attitudes that are holding them back, so that they can have perspective and have a sense of inner peace. With that said, it's your boy Joe, the Wealth Architect, coming at you live and direct from New York. All right, peace.